Welcome back to Weekend Walkabout, where we're in our gardens and years virtually.
We're coming to you from gardenatozz.org. I'm Stephen Nicola.
I'm Janet McConovich, and our topic today is smart gardeners, clothing, and tools. What we'd like to do today is if you'd like to use the notes as the note-taking guide, it is literally a note-taking guide today. I don't know what you're going to say, and I'm not even sure what we're going to say because we're going shopping together. The most important page is probably the first page because it has links for you to the suppliers that I've found very useful. I didn't realize until I was looking at the presentation last night, reviewing it, that I forgot to put in local garden centers.
Oh, I noticed that. I forgot you when you asked me, did we forget? Yes, garden centers, local garden centers.
That note-taking guide is on the website. You go to the webinars and sponsorships tab, and under audience materials, you'll find that. So we buy a lot of our things locally because we like to hold it in our hand if it's a tool.
Especially tools.
And I like to try them on. I know that my daughter-in-law, for instance, doesn't mind ordering clothes and sending them back for a different size, but I like to know they fit right away. So you buy a lot of our things locally. And that does mean Home Depot and Lowe's, where they're in their tool section, and Tractor Supply. But we found wonderful things at our independent hardware stores. And I find that when I ask at our hardware store, Gary is retired now, so I have to ask the other guys, but they can often get things in that I'm looking for.
Yep.
And are more able to do that than the big stores are. So Steve was out looking, and we don't even have to go to the store to look for at what's at Ace. We can look online to know that that's what they have in their central storage locations, and they can get these things even if they aren't showing them right now. But at the garden centers, they're going to have things like, well, grafting wax. People have asked us when we say we used grafting wax. Where do you get grafting wax? You can get that at a garden center. This is one part of our Bordine's Better Blooms display, where they're going to have gloves with long gauntlets for the rose gardeners,
rosarians,
or the people who have to approach a pyracantha. They're going to have the special stuff that the hardware stores are going to have. But online, for tools, I turned to A.M. Leonard before anything else. They've been there a long time. They have pretty much everything. And I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they established a second company called Gardener's Edge. And that catalog is a little easier to use for retail people because the A.M. Leonard company sells not only to just an individual, but sells to the companies that are selling to you. So they're selling in bundles of 12 sometimes, and the Gardener's Edge has their other individual stuff. Well, I'll get back to that, but that's where our main suppliers that we'll talk about today, and we'll tell you as we go along who we've got there. So we like to go to a supplier and look. Well, I shop their menu first. If their menu breaks down gardening separate from landscaping, that's good because they're making a distinction. They must be appealing to us, those of us who are not buying big construction, big lawnmowers and stuff. So I look at their menus first to see what's going on. And I have over the years found that these companies do change. I've been very sad to find that Fiskars has that I've relied on for a lot of things, and I'll still tell you to go there for a couple of things as we're going along here. But they suffer the problem that successful companies have. They get successful, and then they say, how can we make a little bit more profit? And they find a new manufacturer to manufacture their stuff who doesn't do it quite the same way.
Or they change the design simply to change the design, to modernize it, and it's not as good.
Yeah. So there are a couple that we put into parentheses because we'd say that with reservations, Gardener's Supply is going the way of the Smith & Hawkins even still exists. Smith & Hawkins had the best tools for the longest time, but then they shifted their company focus to the high-end furniture and accessories and whatever, and dropped the tools. Gardener's Supply has kind of done some of that same thing, and so those two will give with reservation.